So we've been getting whispers for a while now from inside of Iran, though I think the information we're working with is kind of spotty, but it seems like there's a bit of a fight going on between hardliners from the IRGC and moderates who are still interested in a more moderated, negotiated exchange with the West. And it seems like Iran's president is out. Remember how there have been a couple of times during the war that a like kind of conciliatory statement has come out of Iran, and then the IRGC has said no, fuck that. I remember a specific incident, though I don't remember the date, of Iran, like the Iranian president indicating that they were willing to meet at the table with America, and then there were recorded statements from gunboats in the Strait where the IRGC was saying essentially, fuck you, we close the Strait, don't listen to anyone but the IRGC. Does that make any sense? It seems like there's a bit of an internal power struggle between the IRGC and Iran's president. And I'm siding with the IRGC on this one because it seems like Iran's president is more moderate. We also know that Israel had some success prior to the Iran war in infiltrating the Iranian government. The IRGC and the civilian government of Iran were fucking full of Mossad agents and informants. So it's very possible that they have, to an extent, gotten to Iran's president as well. In my opinion, I think just from a purely like facts of the matter standpoint, leaving aside ideology, right now, Israel and America will like end the fucking world unless they are stopped here. I think that it's in Iran's own self-interest. It's in their best interest to continue to hold the Strait. So I think that Iran's president's more amicable negotiations are baffling. I don't think they're self-interested. I'm not saying Iran's president is a traitor. It's just like, it seems to me like his approach to this is not what Iran or the world needs. So apparently he's submitting a letter of resignation. Obviously, the IRGC controls Iran anyway, but it's probably best that your civilian government's not headed by somebody who's giving mixed messages. FYI, the website you're looking at is a propaganda site. Yeah, but unfortunately, there aren't a lot of sites that are covering this. But I mean, you can look it up. I mean, okay, here's a propaganda site from the other side. Here's the Jerusalem Post. Oh, an unexpected error has occurred. Well, before the unexpected error occurred, the title was Iran's Pezeshkian said to offer resignation over growing IRGC influence. There you go. Didn't break that time. Mossad didn't get to my packets in time. Pezeshkian sent a letter to Supreme Leader Khamenei's office submitting his resignation. London-based anti-regime outlet Iran International reported on Sunday. Oh, wait, it's not from the other side. Sorry. This was CIA. I think it's good if Iran's president steps down because I think that he has been impeding the IRGC's ability to hold the line in the Strait. We're just not getting a lot of information from inside Iran right now, you know? We're getting very limited info. Like, there's just not a lot of coverage in this in the West. Here's First Post, I guess. This is important stuff.
A political storm is brewing in Iran after explosive reports claim that President Masoud Pezeshkian has submitted his resignation. Why? Well, apparently because of the growing differences between Iranian leadership and the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or the IRGC. But is there a real power struggle ongoing, or just another rumour amid a deepening crisis? Well, according to reports, the Iranian president has submitted an official resignation letter to the office of the supreme leader. Reports suggest Pezeshkian stated that both he and his government have been effectively excluded from major decision-making processes. He allegedly...
Which makes sense. The IRGC has authority on military matters, and right now Iran is at war. It's just that, like, if Iran's president... Again, I want to be clear on this, okay? I am not, like, pro-IRGC. They're monsters. It's just that I think the threat that American and Israeli adventurism in the Middle East poses is genuinely apocalyptic. I think that what America and Israel is doing right now, from, like, kind of soft running the destruction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the construction of the Third Temple, from like invading Lebanon to threatening to invade fucking Jordan and Egypt and da-da-da. Just, I think this is a line that ends, if unstopped, in apocalypse. Like, I think they will destroy much of the world. I think that like the end run here, unless Israel and America are stopped, is that an American-backed Israeli military is sieging like a forever war against Iranian proxies, Egypt, Turkey, and somehow like Pakistan simultaneously. It's really bad, and Israel is not showing any signs of stopping, nor are we. Right? The average Democratic politician is still a Zionist and can't frame their criticisms outside the context of Netanyahu is bad, as if the next guy to replace him won't be just as bad or worse. I think that what America and Israel are doing right now are bad for everyone on earth, including America and Israel. It's really, really bad. So I think that hardliners in the IRGC holding the line and keeping the strait closed until Israel and America have to back off. I think that is best for the world. I think that is best for the world. Vosh, good to know you are for the Iranian government becoming a complete military junta, so they become worse than on the side of the U.S. I guess Iranians inside Iran are a scarifice you are willing to make to stop the U.S. hegemony. You gotta, a good bait, but you have to listen to what I'm saying. I think that it's best for everyone on earth if Israel and America are stopped, you know? In service of defeating the Nazis, I would have backed and supported a lot of really bad governments of Europe too, you know? At the time World War II was taking place, Britain was directly responsible for conducting a genocide of millions of Indians through targeted starvation. But I still would have backed. All I'm saying is like, fucking Stalin, man. I'm not a big Stalin guy, but you have to identify the apocalyptic threats, is what I'm saying. And I think that as bad as the IRGC is, boy, what America and Israel are doing right now is bad. I mean, we are, like we just did the whole segment on oil inventories. Right now, Israel and America are so irrational that they are engaged in a conflict that is basically guaranteed to bring the world to its knees with regard to the oil inventory. That's how irrational they are. The damage that America and Israel are doing to the world right now through the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, which they did, it's on them, they did it for no reason. The damage they're doing is greater than the damage that would have been conducted via a limited nuclear war. And that's not an exaggeration. Overall, all over the world, the total amount of damage that will be conducted, that will happen as a consequence of this oil shock will be greater than a small nuclear war, depending on the area. I don't know if it would top a small nuclear war in Beijing or New York City, but it would probably top a small nuclear war in the Middle East. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's hard math, okay? The damage here is bad. And in spite of how bad the damage is, we are not fucking stopping. That's the issue. You mitigate your expectations because you assume that at the end of the day, Israel and America will act in their own best interest, but they fucking won't. They won't. They're not. They're not doing it. Like, Israel is so bloodthirsty, they want to build the fucking third temple, dude. For no reason, like, purely to fulfill a doomsday prophecy for evangelicals and to express their political supremacy over Muslims. They want to do something that they know would just paint the biggest target on their back imaginable forever. The point I'm getting at is that Iran fighting off their interests in the Strait is what's best for the world, as bad as the IRGC is. So, I support the IRGC continuing what they're doing. Hopefully one day the Iranian people are able to, replace the IRGC and have a proper secular democratic government. But fair enough, you being an Iranian, it still hurts a lot to see you content disregarding Iranian lives. You have to stop. Stop saying I'm disregarding Iranian lives. I think it would be worse for Iranian people if America and Israel keep doing what they're doing. Your country has suffered for decades because of American and Israeli political meddling. For half a century, your people have had a boot on them because the West has, longer than half a century, because the West won't fucking leave you alone. Israel probably only exists to oppose potential nuclear proliferation in Iran. Like, in the long run, stopping America and Israel is fucking paramount. The only reason the IRGC controls Iran is because the West has interfered so much in Iranian affairs that they seem the reasonable option. It's the same deal with Hamas and the Palestinians. Hamas was basically created by Israel. There were more moderate options, and Israel kept fucking killing them and making them irrelevant. The hardliners are the only remaining solution after all of the moderates are made irrelevant by the brutality of the West. It is not about sacrificing Iranian people. I think it's better for Iranian people that the line is held here in the Strait. Now, would it be better if the line was being held in the Strait by a secular democratic Iran? Absolutely. But they're not here right now. It would be nice if they were. I have always supported a secular democratic Iran, and I have always decried the evil of the IRGC. I have always done this. Yes, the only reason the IRGC massacres Iranians in protests is that it's not left alone enough. Are you okay? I'm really not trying to talk down to you because, like, materially speaking, your life is a lot harder than mine if you really are an Iranian citizen. But yes, the brutality of the Iranian government, of the IRGC, is a byproduct of their hardline stance. And their hardline stance is created by a geopolitical environment in which they are antagonized by the political and economic hegemon. They have been axed out of the Middle East by the Gulf states, by the Gulf states' continuous collaboration with the United States and Israel, by Israel itself. They have been sanctioned. You've been left in the dirt. You've been left no choice but to collaborate with shit-ass countries like Russia because Iran is struggling, and because it is struggling, people turn to hardliners. This happens everywhere on earth. It's not just Iran. It's happened in Palestine. It's happened in Southeast Asia. It's everywhere. All the time, the same story. An imperial nation oppresses a marginalized people in a foreign nation until after humiliation after humiliation after humiliation, after being bullied and stepped on and pushed, the only rational response is being a political hardliner, being a piece of shit. That does not mean IRGC officials are off the hook. They are bad people. What it does mean is the IRGC's existence was literally created by Western interference in Iran. You know that, right? Like, you're aware of the fact that the IRGC only exists because the Iranian people rose up against the immensely corrupt Western puppet state of the Shah, which was imposed so that we could secure our oil interests in the region. Like, it's direct one-to-one. Like, it's not even like an abstract material conditions thing. So again, one day may Iran be free, but I think the path to their freedom is one in which they are no longer being bullied by the economic hegemon, and that path is holding the Strait. Does that make sense? Like, I think that in order for Iran to be free, they need to not be a global, maverick. And in order to not be a global maverick, they have to throw off the shackles of American and Israeli interventionism in the Middle East, which right now, America and Israel don't even seem remotely interested in stopping because our president is too busy molesting children. And Israel is literally at this moment bragging that it's going to take more of Lebanon. Like, we have to stop them. Sorry, I understand that this was a bit of a, yes. Iran denies reports about President Pezeshkian's resignation. Well, they would say that, is the thing. I guess we will see if it ends up being true, but we have heard a lot of speculation internally about fighting between the civilian government and the IRGC. We do know that is happening. So I guess whether or not he submitted a resignation letter is, we'll find out, I guess, given enough time. Secularist moderates were on the rise thanks to Obama's JCPOA deal. That's completely true. Yeah. Iran was the closest in decades, the closest it had been for decades to becoming more moderate when Obama showed Iran that the West was willing to engage in good terms and in good faith with them. And then Trump tore it up. And that's history. Not to say that if the JCPOA had been upheld, Iran would be a democracy by now, but that definitely was an influence. What's the point of being anything but a hardliner when all moderation gets you is having your shit kicked in time and time again? What's the point of being a moderate willing to negotiate with the West when all the West does is lie and kill your negotiators? Trump did it over and over and over again, you know? In Iran, the JCPOA was very controversial. Well, they're probably tired of being stepped on by the West. The JCPOA was still a patronizing, paternalistic deal that essentially said Iran wasn't a big boy and couldn't have its own nukes. So the rest of the world had to get together and make sure they were being a very, very good boy. Like, Israel gets to have bunches of nukes, unregistered, essentially illegally, not violating proliferation laws, and that's fine with the world apparently, but Iran has to have the UN inspectors. I don't blame Iranians for not liking the JCPOA, but at least was an indication of a willingness to deal on the part of the American presidency, which, So why do you dislike Obama so much? For everything but this. Obama's dealing with Iran and Cuba are literally the best things that he did as president. I hate him for every other reason, for every other thing that he did. But in these respects, these I actually think were relatively good. I suspect you might be underestimating how critical war and conflict is to the modern U.S.'s economy. It's not. It's totally critical to Israel's, though. It's not relevant to what I'm talking about. America's venturism into the Middle East has more to do with oil interests and evangelicism than it does like the MIC, I think. The MIC is like only a small fraction of that engagement. Not to say they've been left in the dirt or whatever, but, you know, Obama seems like a pipe dream compared to Trump. Obama did nothing but worse than the institutional rot that led us to Trump. Like, you saying Obama's a pipe dream compared to Trump is like saying that the getting flushed down the toilet was a dream compared to the sewers that you got dumped in. You know what I mean? Like I would strive for a world where we're not being flushed or in the sewers, in my opinion.